What's this? That's weird. I'm not sure what this is.
Hello, friends, and welcome to the live stream. It's very, very nice to have you all here. Let me know if the levels are alright. Let me know if you can hear the music and it's just nice and chill in the background. We've got some Harry lo-fi going on. Hello, welcome along. It's nice to have you all here. Oh, it's nice to do a bit of a stream. Not done one in a while. Welcome along. Extra special double welcome if it's your first time joining us on the stream. Double extra special welcome to you. Awesome. Cheers. Well, it's good to be here. Well, if it's your first time, let me tell you a little bit about how this all goes down. Usually when we do these live streams, we like it to be very cool. We like it to be very chill. We like the chat to be a nice place. We like to go back over the last video that I did. And hey to things, good to have you here. We like to go over the last video that I did. And this time I think I'm going to go over maybe like the whole year of videos that I've done. And talk a little bit about what I'm going to do next year as well, because there is not going to be another video in December. I'll talk a little bit about that later on, but I'm going to take a break in December. Thank you to Anima Visionary for that super chat. If there are any super chats over the course of the night, I'll do my best to shout them out. If I missed them, I apologise. But what was that question? Anima Visionary says, "How do you like to eat your potato?" Any old type really. I'm not a big fan of mashed potatoes unless it's mashed sweet potatoes. But yeah. If there are any super chats, I'll do my best to shout them out. And if you are a first timer, then what we like to do is we like to turn the music up first of all so you can hear it a little better. Just keep checking in with the volume. The other thing that we like to do is we like to start by lighting a candle. Tonight's scented candle is, I think, like Seaside Gardens. Not quite sure what that smells like, but yeah, we'll go over the last video, and if there is enough time, I've got some letters. We can use like edited highlights from the mailbag as well, and there's some fantastic fan art from the last video which we can go over too. That's really, really cool. But yeah. Okay, so the last video that I did was the trouble with the video game industry. It was a lot of fun. Generally speaking, I was pretty pleased with it. I tried to do a little bit of a new thing with it. I mean, I noticed that over the course of this year, and we may be talking a little bit about this later on, but I noticed over the course of this year, like my videos were getting into a bit of a pattern. In particular, they usually went through 2 or 3 turns, and then they would end on like quite an emotional note. And I was like, okay, I want to try not doing that. I want to try one that's like more theory. This is like, here's some things that you've learned. Here's some concepts. You now understand them. You didn't understand them at the start. So I wanted to like move towards making it slightly more. Wow, Benjamin Morrison, thank you for that super chat. That's incredibly generous. You've been a stalwart this year for the super chats. Thank you so much. Wow, damn. Thank you very much. Investment. Yeah, Big Money Ben in the chat. Thank you. Yeah, I wanted to do something slightly more dry. No, not dry, but I knew that... Hi, Alice. I knew that it would be... I wanted to be like theory time video. And I think I kind of mainly succeeded in that. The first couple of, I just was kind of, I didn't want to fall into a rut creatively. I wanted to like be a little more, hi Nina, good to have you here too. And so I thought I would aim for a nice solid like 7 out of 10 is what I was going to aim for. I mean, I know it's a Jim Stilling joke, but I was like, I wanted to aim for like a middle of the road like theory video, nothing too fancy. And the first few drafts of it didn't have Pontius Pilate in. I was like, oh, I could do Pontius Pilate, but he's laying it on a bit thick. He's a bit much. And then it was only in the final draft that I realized that Pilate needed to be there, and I was like, I thought it would be a worthwhile addition. So yeah, it was, and also I knew I had a sponsor lined up, so it was sponsored by CuriosityStream, and they have a clause that they do not sponsor overtly political content, and that's why there was that running joke about it not being political. And I was convinced that they were going to drop out, as other sponsors have done before. They've said, right, they've seen the video and then dropped out. So I was convinced they were going to. But using Pilate and using a character, it was a way of like conveying concepts that I otherwise couldn't have gotten away with. So that was really fun. So yeah, Pilate only came in the last draft. I was in the shower and I realized that SPQR could stand for like suggest, purchase, query, recommend, and I was like, oh damn, that's so funny, I need to include that. And then I needed to have everything else in that. So yeah, that's why that was in there. That's why I put him in, and he really kind of capped the video off in a nice way. But yeah, as I say, I realized I needed to have that joke in there, and it was a great way of like explaining some of the concepts I wanted to get across. But yeah, I was aiming for like a nice, solid 7 out of 10 video. I thought this one will be fine. I wanted to reach new audiences. It was pretty, in terms of like difficulty, it was pretty introductory, which is fine. That's what I was going for. I was like aiming to maybe refresh some people who are familiar with the theory, and also like maybe reach some new people too. So it was quite introductory. I think that's fine. I think that maybe something that I could have touched on that would have made it like a little bit better was I could have talked about like free, because it was about like free markets, right? In my head it was about free markets and the theory behind them, and also how they can go wrong as well. Kind of theoretical consideration of both sides of free markets through the lens of video games. And I could have talked a little bit more about how free markets are like enforced with violence. That would have been maybe could have been worth bringing up. So it was quite introductory. It was pitched at gamers, like people who watch a lot of like video game content, who like sense that there's maybe something wrong with the free market idea but don't quite have the words in the theory to express it. Thank you, Susan Holland, for that super chat. That's very kind of you. And I think I hit that target. I was pretty pleased with it. So yeah, I thought it was going to be like a decent, like 7 out of 10 video, and would do okay. And it did really, really well. I mean, let's have a look. It's got almost 500,000 views in just over a week, which for one of my videos is like, it's not like gone viral and exploded, but it's definitely towards like one of the top ends of what I usually do, which I was really, really pleased with. I woke up the morning after I posted it and was like, damn, like this one's doing well. It reached a big number of new people, brought in a lot of new subscribers, which was nice. Yeah, it was really, really cool. I enjoyed it a lot. It was good fun. It went through a few iterations. It was quite a difficult one to write. And it like the script got moved around a lot, and I actually finished the final draft the night before we shot, or the night before day one of shooting. Thank you, Lexi, for that super chat. Yeah, I kind of finished the final draft the night before, and but it was good. It was like a nice. The video, it had a good title and it had a good thumbnail. I wanted to make the thumbnail like, in my head I was like, oh, the prettiest thumbnail would be like, the vampire boy or something. I'll try and show that to you. One of these sort of zoomed in shots of the vampire economist. One of those would have been that would have been like a very pretty thumbnail. But then I thought, no, this is one of those cases where like there's a correct answer. There's like a correct YouTube answer. Originally it was just going to be called video games, and I thought, okay, that's fine, but I can do better. And yeah, there was like a correct answer to what the title needed to be and what the thumbnail needed to be. And I got a lot of comments from people being like, I saw the thumbnail and clicked. I was like, okay, cool. So this was like a well-chosen thumbnail. Yeah, that was going to be fun. I originally thought about putting Fortnite in the thumbnail, and I was like, it's a bit too much. Sorry, I think I'm about to sneeze. Woof. I'm coming down with something. So yeah, it was like nicely done YouTube, like good YouTube, good metadata, good title, good description. I was like, very, very pleased with this, like very technically good. So I was pretty pleased with that. There were like a couple of, so a lot of Jim's fans came over, which was fantastic, and Jim also messaged me saying he really enjoyed it. Thank you to YouTube for that super chat. A lot of Jim's fans came over, which was really nice. Some of Jim's critics too. Some people don't like Jim's work, and I was like, really? Oh, it didn't occur to me that people wouldn't. But some people, some people said the same. I don't know how much 6,000 hoof is in super chat money. Somebody do the maths and let me know. I thought about having Jim in the video. I thought about having him read a quote, but honestly, there weren't that many quotes to read out, and I also didn't want to bug him. He knew the video was coming because I told him. Because if somebody made a video about my work, I would be like incredibly anxious. I mean, they do. I don't watch them. But if somebody like of a channel of my size made a video about like what I do, then I would be like incredibly anxious to know that was coming. So I messaged him and be like, "This is what I'm going to do with it, and it's going to be friendly. It's going to be nice." So that was cool. A couple of indie devs, kind of like independent game developers, wrote to me, and they said it might have been nice if I talked about their side of things rather than just like the AAA game industry. It was very focused on the AAA industry. I think that's a fair cop. I think that's a little bit of a hole in the video. Some indie developers were like, we have different takes on like monetization features and the incentives that I was discussing, especially Epic exclusives. So it might have been a good move to include some of them as well, or talk to some indie devs. I can see that as absolutely a fair cop. That's a good note. There was another little thing that I technically got wrong. So WeWork don't own all of their offices. Sometimes they were just subletting them. So it's like even more levels of incompetent. Interestingly, I got a really interesting email from somebody who works at the Chicago School of Economics, who said that the vampire economist bits simplified some stuff. And I really did my best with the vampire economist to like, even though I was undermining it with the costume and the aesthetic, to really give the arguments for like the free market stuff as strongly as I could, for like the first solid 5 minutes of the video, to the point where I got some comments from people who did not realize that was satire, which is astonishing. It's astonishing that I could dress like this and like talk about something and people wouldn't think that I was somehow trying to subvert it. But you know, the first solid 5 minutes of the video are me explaining as strongly as I can the benefits of free market capitalism. And some people like didn't realize that it was satire. And so in some places I actually almost directly quote the people I source. So there's a bit where I cite PragerU, and again, some people did not realize that was like not satire, but like taking the piss. Maybe not technically satire, but some people didn't realize that was taking the piss. Somebody got angry at me for citing PragerU, and I was like, okay, okay. So at one point I did almost directly quote them, or like very, very closely paraphrase them. So I really tried to give it as strongly as I could, but somebody from the Chicago School of Economics wrote to me and said, I thought you oversimplified this, and you know, it's a little bit more complicated than that. And you know, some of the explanations that economists give for why free markets can fail to maximize utility aren't just you suck, or you need a cheaper roof, or you need a big loan. And I was like, fair enough, cool, I get that. I think my aim with the vampire economist bits was to kind of reach people where they are. So I'm sure that there are a lot of like very, very interesting economics papers, and I have friends who are economists who like tell me about the technical reasons for that. But the arguments that I was making as the vampire economist are the arguments that I see people making in public. Like some of those perspectives are in like the official manifestos of political parties in my country, or like some of them are PragerU videos with millions of views. So whilst I'm sure there are like very cool economic technical reasons, like, and there's like more economic depth I could have gone into, I wanted to sort of reach people where they are. So I think it's a bit of a fair cop, but that's also like why I had that approach to it. But yeah, maybe I could have gone into a little bit more depth there. That would have been cool. Something else, I think, I got a lot of people who said, I hope you're not going to talk about like women and trans people in video games because I hate all that SJW shit. And even though I didn't do that, I was very deliberate, like taking a materialist perspective. Something I should have flagged up was that you can talk about those things and you can talk about representation and people in video game media and have a materialist perspective. Thank you to the Dalal for that super chat. My pleasure. Yeah, I should have stressed that you can have the materialism and the kind of, for lack of a better phrase, SJW shit in the same way. You can do both. You can do both. So that perhaps would have been worth stressing. Let me know if the music is okay, chat. It's quite quiet on my end, but what I'm hearing isn't necessarily what you're hearing. But yeah. Yeah. So yeah, in general, I was very pleased with the video. Very surprised that it did as well as it did. Jim liked it. He messaged me and said that he liked it, which meant a lot. It was nice. Okay, that's the sound I need to turn the music up a little bit. Just keep checking in, because the different tracks are at different volumes, so just keep checking in. So yeah, generally speaking, I was like pretty pleased with it. The shoot was good. It was like nice and smooth shoot. I shot it and I did the first big edit, and then went on holiday, and then came back and did like the final refining edit when I was very, very ill. If you put subtitles on and then watch the video, you'll in the credits I'm like talking about how ill I've been. Like, I was incredibly ill for like the final few days of making this video. I was like in bed for 3 or 4 days and like only getting out to do the subtitles. So it was and also I was like very jet lagged and tired. So it was good. And I was pleased with the video. It was nice. And there was, yeah, so people in the chat, Kelly Stock says, I feel like the video was a good sort of first introduction. Yeah, that's what I was aiming for. And I hit that target, so I'm pretty pleased with that. Thank you to that super chat from Nage Tivar Inte, who will forgive me for butchering their name, who says, you helped make me into the communist trans girl I am, so thank you, my pleasure. I was pleased with it. It was good. The Goosylvania song at the end was amazing. Got a lot of comments on that. Goosylvania is the Goosebumps theme versus Megalovania. It was made by Jerry Terry. And Celestial Sitcom, thank you for that super chat, never played Minecraft. Jerry Terry made it, and it's Harry's favourite, H-Bomb's favourite song. And he like reblogged it on Tumblr, and I found it. And I messaged Jerry Terry saying, can I pay you to license this? And they said, not only would they not accept any payment, they also said, I will make you like a unique Ollie edit for like, you tell me how long you need it to be. And I was like 3 or 4 minutes, and they were like, cool. And they made a unique edit for me. I was like, damn, that's like going above and beyond. It was wonderful, and I really enjoyed it. So thoroughly recommend Jerry Terry. Their channel is like fantastic. And very, very kindly, Drill Queen let me use some of their music. Again, for free. The people who wrote Born Depressed, which is Jim's theme song, again, like, let me use it for free. And I also licensed some of Jim's official background music, Sanity of the Sterling Jester. I licensed that from Nathan Hanover. Thank you very much to Attacks on Yaks for that super chat as well. And congratulations. But yeah, it was a really fun video. Quite a lot of money went on props. So I was stressed, by the way. I said this to the patrons. That champagne quotes bottle is not like fancy champagne. It was like £5 prosecco. I was not buying like fancy champagne. And I did not. It is alcoholic, but I like wasn't drinking it on set. We like spat it out and then poured it away. But yeah, it was fun. But yeah, what I was aiming for with this video was less like, here is a thesis, here's an argument that I'm arguing for, and more like, here are some theoretical concepts that you can learn. Here's tendency towards monopoly. Here's rentier economy. Rather than like, here's the argument that I'm making. It's like, boom, here's like 3 or 4 things, and now that you know them, as opposed to some of my other previous videos where I've gone, here's the kind of the argument that I'm making, here's the thesis. So yeah, I think I hit my target with this one, and I'm pretty pleased. I always, people who are new to my live streams, this will be new to you, but when I create a video, I always, I have my own criteria for when I'm happy with it, and that's, did I make it from curiosity, not ambition? Yes, in this case I think I did. I wasn't being overly ambitious. I was definitely like being curious and exploring. Did I make it from a place of compassion? Yes, I did. Definitely for Jim, and even for other people as well. This was something I like really wanted to make for a while. For a few months, I've been wanting to do something on Jim's work, because every time I watch them, I like message Casey Explosion on Twitter. I'm like, there's so much good philosophy going on here, and like, I really wanted to like put Jim's. So Jim has been trying to put his work into a wider theoretical context, and I wanted to like put more gaming stuff into mine. So we kind of like pincer movement like met in the middle. So that was quite fun. So yeah, curiosity and ambition. Did I make it from compassion? And is it my unique creative voice? Yes, I think it is. I think it was really nice. Somebody says curiosity stream, not ambition stream. Very good, very, very good. That's quite funny. Am I allowed to? I think I'm allowed to tell you that I'm doing a TED Talk next year. I think I'm allowed to say that. Yeah, I'm going to talk a little about curiosity and not ambition next year when I do I'm going to do a TED Talk. So, yeah, I hope I'm allowed to tell you that. If not, don't tell anybody. Edit this out. What, it's live? Oh no! But yes, it was a fun video. I was very pleased with it. There was some spectacular fan art, which I very much enjoyed. Here's this one by Two-Headed Deer. This is very cool. It was very, very cool. I really liked this one. I kind of look like Stephen Merchant, if you know him. He's a British actor. He's very funny. He's a very funny comedy actor. Yeah. So it says, tell us when you meet Theodore T Talks. Yeah, if I meet Ted, I'll let you know. I'm gonna wander around backstage and be like, where's Ted? Where is Ted? Yeah, that's gonna be fun. And I haven't actually. I've got a title and I've like made some notes towards it, but I've not really done anything. Not really kind of nailed down what I'm gonna do yet. Theodore T Talks. Yeah, Theodore T Talks and Ian Tunes. That's gonna be fun. So yeah, I really enjoyed this bit of fan art from Two-Headed Deer. It's very Stephen Merchant. I tell you what, the hair for the Vampire Economist really worked out well. I really liked how that turned out. I got like a bit of Brill cream and like combed it through, so it's like slick but still quite ragged. It just sort of looks kind of like greasy and like slimy, whereas with Pilot you can see I used like a bit more like a texturizing, something with a bit more hold, just like give it a bit more like a bit more firm. But yeah, that was cool. I was really pleased with that. I was pleased with the hair in this video. Hair and costumes. I was like, yes, nice. Yes, don't worry. There's a little bit of when I do this through OBS, the screen's a little bit glitchy. Don't worry. Somebody in the chat says that's getting a little bit of flicker. Yeah, don't worry. That's normal. But I also enjoyed this fan art by Pagan Mondus. That's all like hand drawn as well, like on a notepad. That's really cool, isn't it? It's very nice. I love like the shoulders and like the bold, the thick lines of the black jacket is really, really cool. Fun fact: the suit that I'm wearing here, the grey suit, is actually the same suit that Tom Gently wears. Just a bit of fun trivia for you. There you go. I actually have a gold pocket square that would have been better, but actually there's a lot of gold in the frame already. Thank you to Maria Gallagher for that super chat. I'm feeling better from norovirus, but I'm now sick with something else. I've gotten double sick. So that was cool. Yeah, I watched a film called Daybreakers, which I took a lot of inspiration for the look for this from. And what else? That's why I like the yellow stocks. That was an accident. But yeah, that was good. I was pretty pleased. I wish I'd done some contouring. I said that in the outtakes. Oh, by the way, if you didn't know, patrons can see blooper reels from my videos. Yeah, there haven't been very many blooper reels in the last couple because there just weren't any bloopers. But in this, there were quite a few. So there are some. There's a blooper reel up for this one on my Patreon rather. But there's some more fan art as well. This one by Jib0170. That's like scary. That's scary stuff. Let me zoom out a bit. Just ooh. I don't know if you can see that. Look at this. Look at this mouth down here in the bottom right. It's like ooh, very creepy. And like pilots in the background as well with just his bloody hands. Like this is scary. This is like a horror. It's excellent. I love it. Like well done. It's a scary picture. People are so talented. I wish I could draw. And look at this. Look at this by Infinite Red _ on Twitter. Look at that. That's great. It's very femme. It's very like I feel like I look like Seto Kaiba. Like it's very like anime prince. I really like it. It's good. It's like it's the cinched waists that all the anime boys have. It's like very Ouran High School Host Club when they have like that, and then like in Yu-Gi-Oh! Seto Kaiba's got like massive flared coat. It's like very dramatic. Hey, thanks for that super chat from the Lotus System in New Zealand. Favorite country. Beautiful, wonderful place. But yeah, this one's really, really nice with the corset hat as well. The corset is now gone from the hat. I'm going to use the hat in a play that I'm in next year. I'm going to be playing... that should be announced within the next couple of weeks, I think. I'm going to be on stage next year in London town, playing a very, very famous villain. So that'll be good. Yeah. And I will be using the hat for that. Somebody said, is the Vampire Economist by... I don't know. I didn't write that backstory. The Vampire Economist isn't really a character so much as a costume. Like when I did the Satan... When I did the one as Satan, people really liked that. Said, oh, Satan's a great character, but like, Satan wasn't a character. Satan was a costume. But anyway, that's a nice segue into... why don't we... Of course it's gone in the bin. I had to cut it up to make the hat anyway. Why don't we... actually look at the last year of the show. So there isn't going to be a video in December. There isn't going to be another one. The next video will be sort of January probably. I've made 11 very solid videos this year and one April Fool's video that was like very solid nonsense. And I need to take some time off. I'm taking some time off in December. I'm going to go home soon. I'm going to go home to the north and I'm going to take a break because I've been working flat out. Like, although I've taken holidays and I've taken holidays as in I've like been away, I haven't actually taken any time off work at all this year. I've like worked constantly. Hi Lindsay, nice to have you here. I was just about to plug your book, actually, for reasons that I don't think I can actually disclose. But yeah, yeah. I'm taking December off, and I'm gonna go home. It's been a hell of a year. I've made 11 solid videos, one April Fool's nonsense. We did the Shakespeare stream as well. It was a lot, so I'm gonna take some time off work. And when yes, I do have work I need to do for you, Lindsay. Am I allowed to tell people that? Is that like confirmed? I don't know or not. Let me know in the chat, Lindsay, if I can. But yeah, it's been a hell of a year. So I'm gonna be taking some time off in December. So I can't disclose it yet. No worries. I'm looking forward to that. But yes, Lindsay has written a novel. By all accounts, it's excellent. I'm very much looking forward to it. What is it? Stranger Things meets Independence Day? Was that what it was called? Yeah, that's gonna be good. So when Zach Proctor says I have callbacks for The Tempest. Any advice for me? I don't know. Probably depends what role you're going for and what the vibe is like. I did have an audition for Macbeth the other day that I didn't get. I think it was because cool. Cheers, Lindsay. No worries. I had an audition the other day for Macbeth that I didn't get because they're going to do like very modern Macbeth. And if you're doing Macbeth, if you're doing like modern Macbeth and it's about Brexit, you don't cast me. Like, look at me. You cast me in your Macbeth that's like old, like it's period piece costumes, like Scottish accents, like smoke machines. That's my Macbeth. You don't cast me in like modern gender ambiguous suits and Brexit Macbeth. So I didn't get it. So thank you very much to ColtsFan354 for that super chat. But yeah, if you've got a callback for The Tempest, I mean, break a leg. Arthur Alexandrovicus says, Lindsay watches Oliver. Where have you been? Where have you been? So as I say, I'm taking December off. January, I think my next video is going to be a short film, actually. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm hiring Alice to be producer again. Gonna hopefully do a location shoot in January. I'd like to... So next year, I've got some ideas for videos I want to do that I've been making notes towards. Adrian Margarita says, Ollie's been typecast as a period hottie. Yeah, I don't know, I've probably mentioned on stream before. At drama school, they went round and they told everybody their castings, and they got to me and they're like, you are period hottie, sexy doctor, and off-brand Hiddleston. So, thank you for that super chat, King Gator. So next year, and to Eric, thank you for that super chat as well. I think I'd like to make a short film. I want to do a video on like data and algorithms and security, so that's going to be fun. I'd like to do something on. I'm making some notes towards like anti-Semitism and analysis. I'd like to make that. That'd be good. At some point, that maybe. These are all like vague. These are all vague ideas at the moment. I'd like to do something about philosophy of religion, because there's like a big section of A-level philosophy. A-level's like your final school exams in the UK. There's a big section about like philosophy of religion. So I'd like to do something about that, and maybe something about like evangelicalism as well. There's something interesting potentially there. I have like a weird idea that downloaded into my brain. I want to do a video about Charles Darwin. Like the title in my mind is like How Darwin Changed Philosophy, because there's like 2 or 3 big areas where like Darwin really came in and shook things up. I just want to like read a biography of Charles Darwin and make a video about it. That'd be class. I really want to do a video on like the philosophy of theatre and the philosophy of acting. I've got like I've got a really cool location that I'd love to film in for that. So I'd like to do something about that. That would be cool. What else? I've got like a thing in my Somebody's just messaged me saying that they're in church, and it's somebody you would not expect to be in church. Wow. Daddy Dom Hiddleston feels redundant. Says Nancy. What else have I got? I've got a whole file in here. Oh yeah, I really want to do a video on like on beauty and ugliness. I'd love to do something about that, centered around Vladimir Nabokov's writing, because I'm rereading Nabokov at the moment. I'm rereading Vladimir Nabokov's Arda. That's boobs. So I'd love to do something about like beauty and ugliness. That would be cool. Ooh, somebody's recommended a bit of Daniel Dennett. Nice idea. Yeah, beauty and ugliness. I'd love to do a bit about that. I've been wanting to do a video on ageism for a while, but I just can't. It needs to be like ageism and something. I thought about just making a video called OK Boomer. But it needs to be like ageism and something else. But yeah. Something about theatre. It's not much of notes about something. Oh yeah, I want to do the title I have in my head is like facts versus feelings. I want to do a video about a philosophical view called expressivism, and something called the Frege-Geach problem, which is like a very famous, very, very technical, difficult problem in philosophy. But I can like frame that in terms of like facts versus feelings and like emotion and like reason and stuff. There's something like really, really interesting. There's something like really, really good in there that would be like incredibly technical, very, very difficult philosophy, but like I can make it cool. So yeah, I really, really want to do that. That'd be fun. Yeah, I've got a whole one I want to do about religion. If I knew anything about sports, I would do one about sports. So yeah, that's like five or six ideas that I want to do. Oh yeah, I really want to do one on how to be an expert. Is a cool title I had in my head. There's a few people I'd love to interview about like expertise and like the construction of knowledge and so on. There's I'd love to interview. I don't know why these two people are in my head. Well, actually, I do. So one of them is Adam Conover. I'd love to talk to him as like being an expert. He's like a counter expert. He's somebody who talks about like, hey, you think this, but actually it's this, and he's like takes a lot of care over his citations and stuff. So there's something very interesting about the way he constructs knowledge in his show, and also somebody who looks identical to Adam Conover, but like very similar, but like does something totally different, is my cousin Ollie Smith, who is like a TV wine expert. He goes on like TV on the Saturday Morning Kitchen and like talks about wine. Just total coincidence that he looks exactly like Adam Conover and is my cousin, but like is an expert in a totally different field. So I thought it might be quite cool to interview both of them, because he kind of like fell into being a wine expert. So there's something interesting there about like the nature of expertise and like how experts get constructed, and that incredibly philosophically rich clip of Michael Gove saying people in this country have had enough of experts, like, which you could just go back to. You could go back to that again and again and again. It's so rich, so dense. Every frame is just yeah. Yes, there are two Ollies in the family. Me and Ollie Smith. So yeah, I'd love to talk to those two. Those two people specifically, just because they look to me. It's wild that there are actual British dudes named Oliver. Yeah. I mean, people sing the song at us all the time. Never before has a boy wanted more. But yes, I would love to talk to them. Some people are now Googling and saying, holy shit, he does look like Adam Conover. Yes, he does. I'd love to sit down with both of those two and talk about expertise. That would be a lot of fun. So yeah, those are kind of like 5 or 6 videos I'd like to make in the next year. I'd like to do, some of them are like more aesthetics based. There's a very... So have you thought about doing a video on transport and our perception of time? I did it last year. It's called When Will Security Go Back to Normal? It's about security and time and travel. So enjoy. It came out just after the Elon Musk one. So yeah, I'd like to do some about like aesthetics and art that aren't quite as explicitly political. I mean, but we'll see. I tried to write the video games one and not be political, and even though Curiosity Stream was satisfied, yeah. So that's kind of where I'm thinking about taking it in 2020. But as I say, I'm taking at least December off. January, I want to have a good old rest. Possibly go away on holiday. That'll be good fun. That'll be nice. Somebody says, any chance of a video about veganism and capitalism? I mean, whenever somebody says, will you do a video about this? My answer is always maybe. I think, like, isn't Alice, haven't you already made / are making that? I think that's kind of been done. Lindsay says, if you do Chomsky, I want in on that. Okay, I'll add Chomsky to the list. That could be fun. I've not read much Chomsky other than Manufacturing Consent, and I feel like, well, maybe. If you've got thoughts on Chomsky, Lindsay, let me know. That'll be good fun. But yeah, there's some cool locations. There's like a theatre I'd really love to film in. There's a theatre in my my hometown that I'd love to film in. That'd be great. So Alice is already working on making that video. So everybody go and subscribe to Alice Quinrose. She's incredibly talented and produces fantastic things, including a couple of my videos. Do you think Tom Gently will come back? Maybe. Somebody says anything on basic income. Again, kind of been done. Bad Mouse already made good videos about basic income. Yeah, so we shall see. Somebody says, how did you pick the theme of your thesis? I didn't do one. At my university, you didn't have to do a thesis. I just did more modules. I just wanted to learn more. But yeah. Somebody says, are you still thinking of doing something on evangelicalism? Yeah. Or maybe, philosophy of religion, and maybe I'll use evangelicalism as like the wrapper. But yeah, that could be fun. That's rapper, WRAPPER. So I thought it might be fun to look back. Okay, so something about language and Chomsky. Okay. I thought it might be fun to look back over the last year of videos that I've made. Philosophy Tube Astralis. Yeah, I did actually do that advert with Glaive from Astralis. That was a lot of fun. Let's go to the main show. It might be fun to look back. So what have I made this year? Where did we start? So January we started with How to Fix the Housing Crisis. It's in the middle of the screen there. We started with this one, which... Oh, that was a collab with Mexi, wasn't it? That was that. So this was a fun one. This was alright. I think it did okay. I think it was like very high concept. I thought it worked okay. I mean, I mainly wanted to learn how to use a green screen for this one, and in that I succeeded. I thought it had a unique look, which I was pleased with. Scutch did some great art for it. Scutch draws. I think it was definitely an interesting experiment. I thought it was fun. I'm not quite sure it completely worked. If I'm brutally honest, like I don't think it was like a super strong start to the year, but I guess it was okay. It's like a reasonable, I don't know, like average, 3 out of 5. It did okay, and yeah, as I say, it was an experiment. It was a learning curve. I wanted to use green screens. I thought about bringing the character of Nile Content Maker back to do the one on video games, but then I thought, no, again, it didn't really work. It didn't really work all that much. So yeah, this one was an experiment. It was a bit of a gamble. I don't think it entirely worked. I think it was a bit too like heavy, like a bit too heavy on the style. And if you can't like get over that, if you can't like immediately get over it, which I think on YouTube is hard to do. It's hard to like sustain it. Like with this latest video. I mean, some people saw the first 5 minutes and didn't get that it was satire. So I think you've kind of got to be quite clear about what you're doing on YouTube, because you only have like a short amount of time to get people's attention. So I thought this one did okay. I mean, yeah, the first sort of at least minute is like setup and joke and stuff that goes nowhere. So it has like 2 or 3 false starts, which I just think like as an opening, it wasn't great. Ian Triple. Just laughing at my own jokes. Heriton Splimby II. So yeah, it was okay. I think like in terms of like structure, it wasn't my best, but it was all right. Fairly pleased. Not a super strong start. But that was followed up with Steve Bannon, which is, I think, unquestionably one of my best. Thank you very much for that super chat from the Suicidal Sasuke. For that super chat, at least. Yeah, this one was fun. This was the one that had Why Do We Build the Wall? So I saw Hadestown for £15 in London in January, and and then I was obsessed with the song Why Do We Build the Wall, and then I put it in this video. And I saw Hadestown again recently in New York on Broadway for considerably more than £15, and it was still great. But yes, Steve Bannon one was February's. It was really nice. I still think it's one of my strongest. I think in terms of introduction, it was really nice. Like the first sort of 3.5 minutes of that up to the title card where you get "Why do we build the wall?" Like that's a nice opening. Thank you very much for that super chat, Violent Corgi. That was cool. How did you get such cheap tickets to Hadestown? Because it hadn't won any Tonys at that stage, I don't think, and because we were in the very back row and we got them on the day. We saw and heard the whole thing. It was fantastic. But yes, I did see Hadestown for £15 the first time. So yeah, the Steve Bannon one was good, and it's. Can you see that? No. Let me scroll down and you can see that. I mean, that view count though, it's like almost at 1 million, which is one of my best in terms of views. I mean, views ultimately mean nothing and don't mean that it's a good video at all. But it has been one of my most like consistently popular ones. And I did love doing that song. Why Do We Build the Wall? It was just so much fun. It was also the first appearance of this guy. That was the first time he appeared in a video. The kind of the villain of the channel. The arsonist. It was the first time he appeared. Originally was just going to be one big monologue at the end. If you remember the Steve Bannon video, you remember that the arsonist, like, we revisit him like 3 or 4 times. It was originally just going to be a big old chunk of arsonist at the end. And then the night before, I was like, no, break it up and scatter it throughout. So I really kind of decided to do something a bit kind of weird with this one. Again, like with the Nile Content Maker one, only this experiment worked. It was like experimenting with narrative, putting in some like fiction with the fact as well. And I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. And also Harry and Natalie were in this one, and so was Angie. That was a lot of fun. Angie Speaks played Falcony Foppington. That was great. So yes, I was very pleased with this one. This one worked very, very well. It was nice, and that ending song, beautiful. I think I upload the cover of Why We Build the Wall separately, and it. Thank you very much for those super chats for Dan Bonucci. So yeah, I did upload a separate cover of Why We Build the Wall, and it's got almost 400,000 views. I think I got lucky with that because Hadestown like really, really blew up after it came to London, and then I think it did well after that. So yeah, February we had Steve Bannon. Oh yeah, Brexit. What is democracy? That was an alright one. Yeah, this was a fun one. Again, like experimenting with narrative, experimenting with weirdness. I was so happy with the opening shot of this video. That one was nice. I love this costume. It was so much fun to create. I was like stamping on my suit and setting it on fire, and it was covered in blood, and I was doing it outside, and my neighbour was like, "Are you alright?" And I was like, "It's fine, I'm an actor." But yeah, I was really pleased with this one. This one was fun. My challenge I set myself for this one was be even-handed, and I failed, but I failed in interesting ways. And this was one that I sort of rewrote 5 or 6 times, because if you remember this one, it's spliced in with like a summary and review of the film Arrival. It's like mashed in with that, and it's like very unclear why that's happening until like almost 40 minutes in. You don't really realize why I'm doing this. And a lot of people like really went with it, which I really appreciated. People people are like, oh, okay, I get it, or like at least it sort of resonated on some level with them. The music in this one is amazing. Nina Richards did some amazing stuff that was inspired by the Arrival soundtrack. Nina also did the music for Steve Bannon as well. But yeah, this one I was pleased with. Again, a bit of an experiment, a bit of a weird thing to do. And I was pleased with it. I think it just about works. I think it's possibly a little, it would be fair to say pretentious, as in pretending to have deeper meaning than it really does. But yeah, I thought it was interesting. It did okay. Farpit, thank you for that super chat, says, as a current philosophy student at St Andrews, can you talk about your best and worst times there? I couldn't tell you about my worst time at university because it'd probably be private. I probably couldn't tell you about my best times either for the same reason. I don't know, it's good fun. I really enjoyed when they opened up Stabco on South Street. It's still a great pub, and always loved getting the vegan brownies from Taste on North Street. Was in some great plays at St Andrews, was in some terrible plays as well. But yeah, this one was fun. It was a nice experiment. Again, in terms of views, I'm surprised it did well. I mean, I guess by making a video, I've like titled it about Brexit, but it's really about like the nature of democracy. It's a nice one. It's really about like the nature of democracy, and so I think a lot of people come back to it. It still gets views, still gets comments, like a lot, the Brexit one, because Brexit's still a thing. So people keep coming back to it, which is nice, and it's had like a surprising amount of longevity. I think at the time I made it, we were scheduled to crash out of the European Union like within 2 weeks of it coming out. So in that sense, it was actually slightly rushed. But yeah, it's actually been surprisingly kind of evergreen, which I quite like. So I was pretty pleased with this one. It was nice. What do we have after that? Okay, yeah, all right. Then we had one of my least favorite videos. Content warning for snakes. We had Jordan Peterson and the Meaning of Life. Still one of my least favorite videos that I've made. Gotta be honest. I mean, yeah, it's popular. What, like 800,000 views? Thank you, Sarah Arnold, for that super chat. Yeah, still one of my least favorites. This was the one that led me to forming the criterion by which I judge my videos. Like, is it curiosity, not ambition? Is it made from compassion? And is it my unique creative voice? Was this one made from curiosity, not ambition? No, it was definitely made from ambition. Definitely. It was very ambitious. It was like, I want to have like a big costume. I want to have snakes. I want to have a big show. I want to like be funny. I want to do it and like go do the whole 9 yards. So it was very ambitious, not in a good way. I think it suffered for that. I think I think the script wasn't as good as a result. Was it made from compassion? No, it wasn't made from compassion for Jordan Peterson. Certainly not. Which, you know, I try and always have compassion for people in videos. And it wasn't made out of compassion for myself. I was like really pushing myself. It was not a happy shoot. It was very difficult. I wasn't creatively happy with it because I was working from that nasty place of ambition. What I should have done is dressed up like that in the privacy of my own home and then made a different video that was good. So it wasn't made from compassion either for Jordan Peterson or for myself. And it wasn't my unique creative voice either. It wasn't, again, I'm sure you've seen this be done, but this was like me going, look, Nat, I can do it too. And I think it suffered because of that. So although it was very popular and a lot of people really enjoyed it, and I still think it contributed something unique in, not creatively but intellectually, in that nobody had really gone into that level of detail on Jordan Peterson's philosophy before, and like explained why his like philosophy doesn't really work. Thank you, Quest for the Grail, for that super chat. That's really nice. So nobody had like really gone under the bonnet of what he says and like really gone into depth and explained the contradictions, and a lot of people found it useful because of that. But I think overall it suffered. I'm not a huge fan of this video. Nina did a great job on the song at the end, which I thought came together reasonably well. But again, yeah, just not overly happy with this one. I thought it skipped over a lot of stuff. You know, could have been. It was really two videos mashed together. One about like hedonism and Camus, and one about Jordan Peterson. So yeah, could have been better. Possibly my least favourite. But then we had Sex Work, which was it was a collab with Riley Reyes, if you remember that. I was really pleased with this one. So I came out of the Jordan Peterson video not happy with it. I uploaded it and published it, and I was like, damn, I don't like it. I don't like this. I need to think very carefully about what I want to do next. And this opportunity dropped out of the sky because Riley Reyes, who if you don't know is a very famous adult performer and also chairs the Adult Performers Advocacy Committee in the US, and she tweeted like that she was staying up watching Philosophy Tube, and somebody replied as a joke to that, "You should do a collab, wink face." And she decided to take that at face value and said, "I would love to do a collab about sex work." I had been wanting to do one about sex work for a while, so I said, "Yeah, please come on and be my script consultant." Thanks to patrons and Patreon, I was able to pay her for her time, and I was also able to pay Misha Mayfair, who did some voiceover for it. This one, I think, is one of my best. I still think it's one of my best works. I think in terms of structure, the way the interview comes in and out, I thought it like maintained like good, like not narrative structure, but like it's like a nice. It's like 45 minutes long, but it doesn't feel like that. It kind of keeps you going, it keeps you hooked. It like develops nicely, it builds nicely. I thought the kind of magician theme. Let me try and find a good shot of that. The kind of magic, like wanting to make a woman disappear. Theme. I thought that worked quite well because I was reading the book Revolting Prostitutes, and they talk about wanting to make people disappear, and I was like, oh, I need like a magician theme for this, and which like really leaned into that. I hired a lovely theatre to shoot it in. I forget the name of that theatre in South London, but it was a difficult shoot. It was like 3 days of filming. But this one I thought was like one of my best works. Was it made from curiosity, not ambition? Yes, very like curious. I was like, I really want to do this, and I really want to do it right. I was really touched and like honoured actually that so many, because I put out a call on Twitter saying to sex workers, please send me your experiences of like working under the Nordic model or working under decriminalisation or under criminalisation, and so many people got in touch, and I was very touched by that. And I said to my dad actually, I said, I'm really flattered that so many people trust me to do this topic well and to do it justice. And he was like, yeah, don't squander that trust, it's valuable. So I was really pleased with the way this one came together. Was it made from curiosity, not ambition? Yes. Was it made from compassion? Oh yeah, big time. Big time. Was it my unique creative voice? Yes, I think it was. So I was really pleased with this one. I thought the editing came together nicely. Like, I was very pleased with the way I used things like B-roll. Thank you for those super chats, Pixie Dust and the Lotus system. I was very happy with the way I like integrated B-roll, the way that we had like a 2-camera setup for the interview sections. So there's one, you get the Master Riley, but then there was also another shot of Riley there. Like stuff like the transitions, I was pretty pleased with, and the little details like the fact that that's a porn star martini. I enjoyed that. I know this like little shots like this, like the over the shoulder stuff. I really liked that. So yeah, I was very pleased with this one. I thought it came together very nicely. I was really happy with it. yeah, that was a nice one. I think somewhere in between there, I also made I made the philosophy of anime with Professor Garrett Venison. I made this as my April Fool's video. This was a joke between me and one other person. So somebody who I'm fond of had surgery, I think, on April Fool's Day, and was recovering from that surgery for a long time. And their favourite video is, so there's a video, it's by Lasagna Cat, which is just a guy talking about Garfield uncut, like one shot for an hour. And so I made a parody of that about anime. Just like I made it just to make someone laugh. That was because I knew they were going to be recovering from surgery, and I this is going to make this person laugh. And like 300,000 people saw it. It was like one take. It was very weird. It made no sense. A lot of people were like, "What is this?" Some people didn't realize that it was an April Fool's video. It's just made it funnier. Yeah, I had so much fun with this. It was a great laugh. Somebody said in the chat, says that you're going to do an April Fool's video next year. Maybe. I had an idea to, instead of doing an April Fool's video where it's like funny, I thought I would just make a video about something completely non-philosophy related. Just be like, here's something that I'm interested in that has nothing to do with philosophy at all, and I'm going to put it out on April Fool's just like, here's something different. There's no jokes, it's not funny, I'm just talking about it because I enjoy it. Like, I thought that might be fun, like, as opposed to doing something as a joke, doing something just like totally different. I thought that might be fun. So yeah, somebody says, can you show the viewer retention for the philosophy of anime? Yeah, I mean, I know I can't because I'm not logged into that YouTube account at the moment. I'm logged into Philosophy Tube Live, so no, sorry, I can't. But yes, we only did 2 takes. We filmed it in like an hour. We just bashed it out, and I edited it in like 2 hours. It was very slapdash. The writing took me like 3 hours. That was it. I just like I didn't even edit it. It was just like stream of consciousness, just nonsense. Oh my word. But I had a great time with this one. Thank you, Lexi, for that super chat. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was a great one. Yeah, I had Philip Glass on the soundtrack. Let me just change the music in the background. Yeah, what a laugh. That was great fun. Yes, Alice says, did you hire the Man Bros to help you shoot this one? Yes, I did. We shot it in Man Bros studio. We shot that on the same day, I think, as Sleep Out in February, March. I think we shot it maybe on the same day as Brexit, What is Democracy? Or on the same, like, 2 days. I think. Because we just, like I say, we just like filmed it, we just bashed it out. So that was good fun. That was a great time. I've still got that shit. In case we need to bring Ian Drivel back. But then we had Abortion and Ben Shapiro. So the Arsonist came back, which I was excited for. Again, this was another one where I was like experimenting with narrative, like making the short film and weaving it in and out. I was pretty pleased with this one. I was pleased that it was like funny. The jokes were good. It was nice. I think. The Tom Gently bits were good fun. They were great fun. I did really enjoy playing. Tom Gently, and the way we matched up the look with the eyebrows and the microphone and stuff, and the stuff like the Let me just try and find the other. Oh, these visual graphics. Wait, like stuff like the second camera angle. Were nice. I thought this one was a very difficult shoot. Very difficult. It was like 3 or 4 days worth of filming. I also it doesn't have a lot of explicit gore, don't worry, says people in the chat. I just like the day before filming got some devastating news, so I was like in tears on set. It was really, really difficult. It was very tough to make, and the edit was a long, long slog. So I look back on this video and I'm like, damn, that was like, it's painful memories. So I'm not as fond of this one. In terms of views, it did fine. Well, it did very good actually. It was almost 800,000. I thought the narrative bits worked well. I was pretty pleased with the acting. Just giving myself like notes as an actor. I thought that was good. It was nice. Thought there was some good acting going on. Especially since the set was not like a very nice place to be. It was also just like physically demanding. So even if I had been in a very happy place, like it's just like being handcuffed to that table all day was hard. Makeup didn't quite work under the lighting. It was much better under neutral lighting. I was going for like ill, like red around the eyes, like ill, but it just came out like anime blush under the green lights. Sorry about that background noise there. That's due to a technical difficulty. Technically, my flatmates are inconsiderate. So yeah, it was a very tough shoot. This one was one that was going to be sponsored, and the sponsor saw it and dropped out. So I just had cut the sponsor stuff out. Originally, I did the sponsored ad read in character as Tom Gently. And I said, this episode of the Tom Gently Show was sponsored by whatever. But they didn't like that. They didn't like that. So that was good. I don't know. Was this one made from curiosity, not ambition? Tough. There was a little bit of ambition in there. There was a little bit of like, hey, Ben Shapiro, I'm coming for you. Like, ha 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 ha. Very funny. Like, I tagged him in it on Twitter. I said, Ben Shapiro, debate me in the comments. It was like a little bit ambitious. I think. So I made a promise to myself when I started the channel that I would never use it to say anything bad about anyone. I would never single anyone out and like use it to hurt them. And I think maybe cross the line a little bit on this one. I think if I was Ben Shapiro watching this, I'd feel quite upset. So I think it maybe crossed the line a little bit on this one. Maybe. Was it made from compassion? Again, on the line. It's on the line. This is like, I think as ambitious as I'd want to go, as uncompassionate as I'd ever want to go. I think it's on the line. Is it my unique creative voice? Yes, it is. No one else could have made this kind of short film spliced in with philosophy. But some of the kind of throwaway guys, like I called Dennis Prager a haunted gammon mannequin, and a horrible alien who hunts men for sport, which of course I believe, but it's not always nice to say things like that on in public, at least. Well, people in the chat are saying, it's Ben Shapiro's feelings, who cares? Well, I care. I care about people's feelings. I made that promise to myself that I would not use the channel. I mean, of course, in private, over pints, yeah, I'll slag people off all the time, no worries. But I don't want to use my channel to do that. That's not what I use it for. So, yeah. I thought it was... Hi, Mia. Good to have you here. So, yes. Dennis Prager is, of course, the haunted gammon mannequin. But I thought this was kind of on the borderline for me in terms of like where my heart was with it. But was it my unique creative voice? Yes, it was. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. It was a lot of fun. That was very, very cool. And it came together well. I know it's Mia's favourite video that I've ever made. I love this shot. God, that was a hard day. That was a hard day of filming. We filmed all this stuff, the short film stuff, in Murder Mile Studios, which is a BDSM studio in London. It was a long old day, and yeah, as I say, I was just devastated. But it went well. See, people in the chat are saying the video was pointy, but not a takedown. Yeah, I agree. I think it was as pointy as I want to go. But it was, yeah, but I was pretty pleased with it. It did okay. People are saying you were criticising his work, not him as a person. Yeah, I was. But again, some of the jokes and some of the throwaway lines were a bit more personal. And certainly, you know, the fact that I created Tom Gently based, like, very obviously on Ben Shapiro. I think if I was, you know, if somebody created a character that was very obviously based on me and subjected them to horrible bodily torture, I'd be like, damn, you know, that doesn't make me feel good. So I thought if I was Ben Shapiro watching this, I would feel quite upset and uncomfortable, which isn't what I want to do. But I mean, his politics make many people feel upset and uncomfortable, and his philosophy doesn't work. But I still think it's about as pointy as I'd want to go. But yeah, and generally speaking, I was like, was pleased with it. And then we had Men Abuse Trauma, which was a thing. That was a thing. I think this is I think again this is one of my best works. Just like as a work of creation, as a work of art. Well, no, I'm going to take the quotes down on this one. As a work of art for this one, I think it's one of my best. Like the theme, the content, and the aesthetics like married very nicely for this one. It was very difficult to make, emotionally, obviously, and technically incredibly difficult to make. You know, a 30-minute uncut video. So funnily enough, when I made the philosophy of anime, I was like doing that. I was like doing it as a dry run. I was like, how long can we do an uncut take? So I kind of had the idea in my head that I wanted to do Men Abuse Trauma as a single uncut shot, which it is, by the way. There are people like, oh, is there like secret hidden cuts? No, it's one take. We did 2 of them, of which this is the second, because the presentation was slightly better. But yeah, this one was pretty cool. So the first half is all shot. You're looking in a mirror, like the camera is like pointed at a mirror, and then we do the 360-degree pan at almost exactly 2/3 of the way into the video. We pan away, and here you see that everything's been reflected in a mirror. It's probably a little bit stuttery for you as you're watching it down the stream, but yeah, you can see there. You can see the border of the mirror. So yeah, it was all one take, all shot in a mirror, and it turned out really nicely. Vox wrote a lovely article by Emily from Vox. Wrote a fantastic article where she said it was like one of the best episodes of TV she'd seen all year, which was lovely. But yeah, this one turned out really nicely. Kind of like good theory, good art. It was very funny that some people said I really enjoyed the fact that it wasn't theatrical. I actually view this as my most theatrical because it is just like a theatre performance. It's much more like arty than, even though it is just very simple, it's much more arty than like the Ben Shapiro one or the Steve Bannon one. It is, yeah, it's like a play. I deliberately wrote it like that. You know, there's a reason that the opening shot is theatre curtains and Shrek. There's a reason that that's there. So yeah, that was good fun. It was a nice one. I was really pleased with that, like as a work of art, and also like obviously very, very personally important. It feels like a long time ago, that, even though it was July. Still gets consistent engagement. People still go back and watch that, and yeah, Alice says it's less produced. Yeah, it's like very simple, very stripped back, but it's very people say, how do you not see the camera in the mirror? Oh, a little bit of a sneaky. It's all just angles, smoke and mirrors. A little bit of a sneaky cinematic trick. So yeah, this one was a lot. In terms of the writing, this one went through like 20, 30, 40 drafts. It took a long time to write, months and months and months to write. But I think it turned out very well. And off the back of it, this was when I actually announced the Shakespeare stream. This was when we did that. My God. So then we did the Shakespeare stream, which I have the backups of here. Yeah, then we did the Shakespeare stream, which, my God, that was 100 hours. Somebody says, how did you license Gagarin for the end of Men Abuse Trauma? By paying a lot of money. Is how I licensed it. It was very, very expensive, but that's where the Patreon money for that month went, almost entirely on that. Yeah, the Shakespeare stream. Damn, that was like 100 hours, wasn't it, Alice? Just being stuck in that flat. My God, that feels like a weird dream. Still, it feels like that didn't really happen. How much did we raise in the end? Was it like 130, 140,000? But yeah, my God, what a 140,000 in the end. Wow. Yeah, I'm still recovering too. My God, what a 100 hours that was. I still can't believe we did that for the Samaritans. That was phenomenal. Like some of the experiences on that, like I remember just the opening act of Hamlet, just the opening scene of Hamlet. I just had this big grin on my face because like being in Hamlet with my friends who were just so good, like doing such a good job, like Toby was amazing, and like Dan was amazing, and Tom was amazing, and like, yeah, it was phenomenal. Like, that was a moment that stood out, and doing the incredibly horny satanic sex clown play, and the bit where my brother came on, and like played my brother in the play was amazing, and like the beard growing in real time. And I remember just before we did Hamlet, I had to take a break because I was like incredibly sleep deprived. I was like shaking, and this journalist from the Times wanted to talk to me, and I was like on the phone, just like I can't even remember what I said, but you can go and find that Times article. Yeah, that was incredible. And I remember learning that like my horny clown boy, yeah, the horny clown was amazing. Yeah, I remember like being. Because I was so sleep deprived, not only was my like body like shaking and shutting down, but like my brain, I was just like getting incredibly depressed and anxious. I was like, oh God, like this is a joke and my career's over. I was like, wait, no, I've raised $100,000. Like I need to sleep. Yeah, that was fantastic. Like Romeo and Juliet with that cast, Romeo and Juliet was astonishing with Natalie as Juliet. God, that was fantastic. Yeah, what a special treat that was. In fact, you'll be able to scroll back and see. Yeah, just for loads of Romeo and Juliet. I just had this big grin on my face. Yeah, that was real special. What a time. what a time that was. And to get to be in newspapers, to be in the Spectator, to be in the Times, I said this at the time, and it's still true. I was disappointed that the news articles didn't mention Izzy and Alice and who, like, both trans women who produced the stream, and the fact that so many of the cast were trans and that so many of the people supporting it were trans. I mean, there's just like the fact that we had like a trans Juliet, we had a trans woman playing Brutus. It was very sad that they didn't pick up on that. And I remain eternally grateful to the trans community and all the people who rallied around it. The fact that we had Bilbo on the stream, like, oh, amazing. It was. Yeah, most of the leading ladies were trans as well. Like, it was a very. Oh my God, Henry V. Henry V. The Royal Stereotype Brigade. Oh my word. Yeah, God, we had some good laughs for that. And me and Dan Olsen doing Titus Andronicus at 7 in the morning my time, and like God knows what AM for him. Just chugging through Titus Andronicus, just like weeping and laughing and yelling, and oh my word. And Alice, do you remember that I basically only ate like grilled chicken breasts and that weird like soup, that weird voice soup stuff. The Othello we did, and Richard III, God, what a slog that was. Richard III just went on and on and on and on. And that one scene that was like 20 minutes long where I was playing like 5 characters and couldn't stop talking. Oh my word. Oh, that was phenomenal. What an incredible, and the Skeleton Crew as well. Like, what a phenomenal event that was. I still can't believe that happened. Yes, we did have Bilbo, and that Macbeth with chocolate buttons and toast. That's what we had, yeah. God, the Shakespeare stream ended up being extremely expensive for me because the Airbnb was a lot. And so did when we had Sonic Fox, and yeah, me and Sonic Fox was Achilles and Hector, and he was streaming for, brilliant. Jim rolling a 20 for charisma and 2 gentlemen of Verona. Oh, that was amazing. In fact, during the after party for this was where I came up with the idea for the video that I just did, because Jim was there and I was like, oh yeah. Yeah. A Midsummer Night's Dream with Hannah Witten. Oh, what a treat that was. What a lovely, lovely time. What a crazy thing. Yeah. Oh, and Bunny in Othello was amazing. That was great. Yeah, what a blast that was. I still can't believe we did that. Wild. Thank you very much for that super chat. Oh, somebody says, what is voice soup? I've still got some. Hang on a second. What do I... Oh, yeah. It's this stuff. It's like special, special stuff for your voice. It like keeps your voice going beyond any mortal levels. You take like 2 spoonfuls of it and you can just keep talking for hours. This is what kept me going. We went through like a bottle and a half of this. It's amazing. Yeah. It's very tasty. It really tastes great. So what did we have next? What came after this? Then we had Climate Grief, and that was fun. Climate Grief. This was a good one. This one, again, came together. I think that it could have maybe used another draft of the script, this one. But I was pretty pleased with it. This was the one where I got Quill to design the costume. I was able to pay them for that. That was nice. Yeah, I think this one was okay. I was pleased with the intellectual content, like in terms of the theoretical points I covered. Oh, Alice, you're right. This one came out half an hour before the stream began. Oh yeah, it did. I wanted to get it done. Oh yeah, because we were planning the Shakespeare stream, and I wanted to get this video done and in the bag and ready to go before we started. Yes, because I released this, and then we had the Shakespeare stream, and then I went on holiday, which turned out not to be a restful holiday at all for reasons I can't talk about. But yes, this one I think was a bit of a rush. It could maybe have used another draft of the script, but it covered some good points. I was very pleased that I was finally able to get like some indigenous philosophy in there. Could have maybe leaned a little bit more into that. This one like still gets used a lot in classes. People show, yeah, in terms of views, weirdly less so than some of my others throughout the year. 500,000, which is very good. But the David Attenborough stuff was fun. I enjoyed it. The Arsonist came back for his third. I love that gag. Have you seen this, man? I love that. He came back for a quick bit. Again, very last minute addition. I was like writing the final draft, and the Arsonist came up and tapped me on the shoulder and was like, "I need to be in this." I was like, "Oh yes, you do. Brilliant." So that was good. Yeah, I thought it was fine. Was it made from curiosity, not ambition? Yes. It was curiosity, definitely. Was it made from compassion? Yes. Was it my unique creative voice? Yes. So it ticks all the boxes, and I should be happy with it. Thank you very much for that super chat, Kevin Andrews. Yeah, I think so. The fish example, if you've seen it recently, you'll remember. I open talking about fish and global warming and labour rights and immigration laws. Wig, not so good. First time using a wig. You learn. But yeah, I opened talking about fish, and I think in terms of like telling you what the video is about in the first 2 minutes, I liked it. I thought this one was like pretty well structured, considering it was written in a hurry. Could maybe have used just one more draft, just one more. But I was pretty pleased with the writing, and I thought that it came together fairly well. And Sean was in this one. That was nice of him. Yeah. So this one was fine. I'm just gonna put on a hoodie. I'm quite cold. Oh yeah, I've got one under here. I'll tell you what else. I'm also gonna I'm just gonna get some water. Hang on a second. I'll fade the music up and fade the mic down. I'll be back in. Okie dokie. We're back. Hydration. That's good. So yeah, climate grief. Pretty happy with it. Not my best. Certainly not the worst. What do we have after that? Oh yeah. Then we had HBO's Chernobyl and Personal Responsibility. Thank you, Nicholas Burtz, for that super chat. This one. It's okay. It's okay. I tried, again, bit of an experiment. Tried to do some media analysis. This one had to come together quite quickly because I was on holiday. So we had the Shakespeare stream, and then I went on holiday for a week, and then I had to basically write and film this in 2 weeks. And I think it suffered because of that. It's okay. It's fine. I tried to do something different. Tried to do like a little bit of media analysis. I think it was a little light on philosophical content. Could have gone into more depth. I mean, I watched Chernobyl on my holiday and was like, I want to talk about this. It's great. I think, yeah, it could have used a couple more drafts on the scripting, basically, but I ran out of time because I took that week off in the first half of the month. Slightly, I remember at the time thinking it's slightly underperformed, but it's really anything over 120,000, and I'm happy. I really liked getting to talk about the acting. Again, costume, quite rushed. It's quite rushed. It just feels rushed. Snatch Game was good, but on the runway, not so good. Yeah, could have gone deeper, I think. The memes were good. It was well memed. There were some cracking memes in it. Really, yeah. Could maybe should have zoomed in a little more on the Grenfell stuff. Yeah. But it was just, I think, a little. It was rushed. It was rushed. It felt rushed. Yeah, it would have been better, I think, to just to take it easy. But it was well memed. Yeah, it was well memed, but could have been better. Yeah, people saying not great, not terrible. Yeah, it was the 3.6 wrong Conover video. Yeah, could have just needed needed more time, needed another week, needed another 2 weeks. Really ran out of time. Arguably, it would have been better to miss the deadline. I mean, in 6 years of YouTube, I have never missed a deadline. When I went every week, when I went every 2 weeks, and now when I go every month, I've never missed it. This December is the first time I have not released a video, and this time it's deliberate. So yeah, and they're just little sloppy mistakes as well. You can even see sloppy mistake there, those captions. Thank you, Daniel Beaver, for that super chat. Those captions should both be in bold font. That should be bold Futura for both. But I didn't pick it up on the final rewatch that the one on the left isn't in bold. It's just little sloppy mistakes like that, which are a shame. A couple of nice touches. The Russian translation underneath was nice. Couple again well memed. I think possibly a little late in the game. Should have made it 3 months earlier. When Chernobyl was a bit more relevant. Wait, no, I tell a lie. I did miss a deadline once in my first year. I did just forget to upload one Friday and uploaded it on the Saturday morning. But yeah, And it was a shame that this one wasn't so hot, because Lindsay was in it. Lindsay was the voice of Margaret Thatcher. Lindsay Ellis was the voice of Margaret Thatcher, very kindly lent her voice to that, and it was a shame that it didn't turn out so good. I don't think it was my worst one of the year. I think my least favourite video of the year was actually the first one, the housing crisis one. Well, actually, I don't know. I think that was an experiment that didn't work, and I think maybe I actually prefer that to this one, which was just kind of rushed, just wasn't as good as I could have made it. But was it made from curiosity and not ambition? Yes. Was it made... Craig Mazin did actually tweet about this, the guy who created Chernobyl. He did actually tweet about it, which again, I wish it had been better. I wish I'd made a video better if he saw it. But was it made from curiosity and not ambition? Yes, it was. Was it made from compassion? Yes, it was. Was it my unique creative voice? Meh. Not really. I think, there's a lot of people who make videos like this. There are some spots where it was my where it was my vision, but I think there are a lot of channels that make stuff like this. Not that it's easy, but there's a lot of channels where, like, here's a program and let's talk about it. I probably went into more philosophical depth than many people would doing that, but yeah, it was a 3.6 Ronken video. It wasn't not great, not terrible. Yeah, I think the housing crisis one was an experiment that didn't work. I almost give myself more credit for that than this, which was rushed. So, yeah. Meh. But you know what? It was a nice half hour of content. You watch it, it's entertaining, you maybe pick up a good show that you've not heard of. And I think sometimes it's okay to make something that's just like, it's just some content. It's okay to do that. Sometimes, they can't all be bangers. It's okay to make something that's just like a bit more sort of light, which was fine. And then, then we really pulled out all the stops, and I was determined after the Chernobyl one to really, really give it the big one. To really, really go for it. Queer sparkle emoji. What a show. What a god. Wow. This one was a hell of a... This one, in terms of cost, there's a big beard shadow there. In terms of cost, like financially, and like time spent doing it was like 3 or 4 days worth of shooting and recording, and just like time and money going into this. This is the most challenging one I've ever made. I mean, as this one made it quite a substantial loss. Cost me quite a lot of money to make this one. But yeah, it was phenomenal. Alice was producing. Alice Quinrose was producing all of this stuff on set. Thank you for that super chat, DKK 45. And it came together very nicely. I was quite pleased with the editing in this one. I thought the editing worked well. I thought it had a nice narrative to it. I thought the music came together very well. Nina did the music, and I thought she did an amazing job. It was really good. I liked. My favorite bit is this bit on the laptop, where I get my laptop out, and it's just a nice, just structurally, it's really nice that you get about halfway through and you're like, okay, I think I sort of know what the rest of this video is, and then it just changes it up. It's just got like 2 or 3 minutes of something slightly different music, different tone, different background, and you're like, okay, cool. I just, in terms of like keeping an audience flowing and going, I thought this one was quite nicely structured. The music, not just the music that Nina did, but also like the background music, the ambient music for this video, I was very pleased with. I was very, very pleased. The editing was challenging. Like this song, Devil You Know, damn near melted my computer. Like editing, I knew from the very first time I began creating this video that I wanted the bi flag. I wanted this, like pink and blue and purple. And obviously it was there was a twist to the video, which is me coming out as bisexual. Which I love. I can't upload the songs from this separately because it would be like copyright shenanigans to it, I'm afraid. I can't do it. This one was fun. Some people, there was a little bit of pushback. Some people were like, why are the songs in there? But I'll defend that. I think Steady As She Goes is great explaining about heterotemporality. Like, heterotemporality, quite a difficult concept to get your head around, but, you know, if your mum and your dad sing a song about it, fine. Devil You Know is about like uncertainty and like who gets to construct knowledge. I thought that was fun. And then My Type is just the anthem of bisexual sluts, which I am, so that's fine. So this one was really, really nice. It obviously meant a huge amount to me. I was working on it for a long time. All my love to my friends and people who helped me through like realizing that I was bi and sort of making this very on brand massive show. Was it made from curiosity, not ambition? Well, curiosity about queer theory, certainly. Yes. I think it was definitely made from curiosity about queer theory. The musical section's a little bit of ambition going on there, perhaps. But it not I think in a more healthy way than the Jordan Peterson one. The Jordan Peterson one was like, look what I can do. This one was more like, bam, I've got talents, I've got skills. I'm putting this into my video to make it a fun time. So yeah, this was a little bit of ambition in there, but I think in a slightly more healthy way. And again, I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to see if I could do a drag look for the your mum and your dad, which I thought worked well. That was good. And I wanted to challenge myself with the editing. We turned down the music slightly. So yeah, I thought this one, Curious and Ambition, yeah. But you only get to come out on YouTube once. So I thought it would be okay to like make it a bit of a big show. And especially after the Chernobyl one, I really wanted to like really give it the big, because I felt the Chernobyl one was a bit like, oh, like anybody could sort of make this. Like, what is this as a YouTube channel? Like, whereas if you see this, you're like, damn, this guy's out here. He's really putting it in, putting the effort in. So yes, this is your dad and your mum singing. But yeah, this was a good one. Was it made from compassion? Yes, certainly, especially compassion for myself, which was nice. That was a good one. Was it my unique creative voice? Yes. Yes. Nobody else could have made this. Definitely. Yeah, a full-on musical with like 3. Yeah. And also I think you can tell, especially in these bits, in these sections, you can tell that I'm like having an absolute blast on set. Like, I'm having so much fun filming it. I loved it. I thought it was just a great time. I was so glad that Alice, that I hired you to come and help me out on set, because I couldn't have done it without you. It was very, very, very special. And yeah, it turned out brilliant, and like Alice did a fantastic job. My parents haven't seen this one; they don't watch my show. or they watch the ones that I send to them, so they've seen the abortion of Ben Shapiro one because I showed that to them, but they generally don't. They generally don't watch the show. But yeah, I thought this one was good. I thought it was funny. I thought it was well memed. Yeah, I was pleased. It's been a bit of a slow burner in terms of numbers. It really only inched up above 400,000 in the last couple of days. I was expecting it to hit bigger, if I'm honest. But as I say, anything over 120,000, and I'm happy. So, yeah. This was very on brand. It was very me. I had a blast. Alice did an amazing job. Nina did an amazing job on the music. I was pretty pleased with the writing. I thought it had like a nice... had a nice flow to it. It was nicely structured, well written. I love this ending moment, like the way it came together in editing with Marina and Dan and Natalie and Harry behind there, then fading into the lesbian Avengers. I thought that was really nice. Yeah, I was very pleased with this one. It was good. Again, not sure it was my best, not sure it was my favourite of the year, but it was a blast, and I was very pleased. Also, my singing has improved this year. It's nice. Could maybe have used... you know what? Maybe it's harsh to say it could have used one more draft of the script. I actually think it was probably fine. Some sections of it were a little disjointed, but I'm glad that they were in there. It kind of needed to be there, so that was good. It was a nice one. And then we are back to where we started, with the trouble with video games, which we've already talked about, and that was video number 12 this year, if you include Philosophy of Anime, which we've already talked about. So there we are. There we are. Lads. What a year it's been. My gosh. Wow. What an amazing year. Okay, so I think if my least favourite I think is probably the Chernobyl one. Although, is it Chernobyl or is it Jordan Peterson? You know what? I think my least favourite of the year is the Jordan Peterson one. Because the Chernobyl one... So my kind of bottom three are the Housing Crisis, Chernobyl, and Jordan Peterson. Housing Crisis was an experiment that I don't think quite worked. So, fair enough. Tried something, didn't always work. Fine. Nature of being creative. The Chernobyl one... You know what, I did my best, but I had a week's less time than I normally do, and I think that shows. And I think that's fine. That's okay. It turned out alright. And it, wasn't terrible. But I actually think my least favourite is the Jordan Peterson one, because that one was kind of wrong from conception. Or not wrong, but like... It started from the wrong place. Not the wrong place. It did not start from a place that I like to work from. The others started and maybe went awry or like didn't have enough time on development. But the Jordan Peterson one, I think, started from a place that I don't want to create from. So I think that's my least fave. Alice in the chat asked, what's a video that you wish got more love? Actually, I think I wish Queer had gotten a bit more love, actually. Queer and Climate Grief. So Climate Grief... Oh no, Climate Grief is over 500,000. That's pretty good. Men Abuse Trauma got a lot of nice attention. Postulate 5, thank you for that super chat. Yeah, I think it would be Queer. I think it would be Queer. Well, I do in fact, Anima Visionary, I do in fact have a least favourite. I don't need a least favourite, but they do. I think they all, have something of merit, even if it's a cautionary tale, or just like practice the technical skills. They're all fine. I wouldn't write any of them off. I don't wish I hadn't made any of them. Even the Jordan Peterson one, like I learned a lot about makeup doing that. But practiced. It was good practice. I kind of wish Queer had gotten a little bit more love. I expected it to hit bigger than it did, because it's something that no one had ever really done on YouTube before. I don't want this song just yet. I'm going to change this music. Take us back to the start. Yeah, having like a full big musical that is also educational, that is also personal, I think I wish we got a little bit more recognition. I feel like nobody had really done that. But hey, it happens. My faves. Steve Bannon, favourite. Definitely one of my faves. I like that. It was a good one. Sex Work, honestly, in my top few. I think that's going to be... So I think my top 3 are... Thank you to Joshua Legg, who says that Queer is his favourite. Thank you. I think my top 3 are going to be Steve Bannon, Sex Work, and Men Abuse Trauma. Steve Bannon, because it was an experiment, it was something different, and it like really worked. It really did well. And I think was like important and timely and fun, and yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. Sex Work, I think I would rank Sex Work above Steve Bannon. I just think in terms of narrative structure and like, you know, keeping the audience going and like flowing and editing and the right balance of like theatre and theory, I think Sex Work like really hits it. I was really happy that I got so many, that I got Riley Reyes and that I got Misha Mayfair involved. I was really happy that so many people wrote to me and like trusted me in it. And yeah, I think it came together really, really nicely. Ticked all those 3 boxes really, really well. And yeah, I just think I think it's some of my best work. That I thought it was like a very like mature, almost documentary style stuff, and I'm like, damn, that's nice. And Men Abuse Trauma, I think like as a work of art, I think that's one of the best things I've ever made. And again, I like that I like making things that nobody else has ever made. So I like the fact that I made like a musical video essay. I like the fact that I made, although I suppose Lindsay's video on The Hobbit like spliced an interview with a video essay, so Sex Work wasn't the first one to do that. But I like that I was able to do like the definitive left tube video on Sex Work, which nobody had, as far as I'm aware, nobody had really done before. I like that I was able to like plant the flag on that and make a resource that people come back to again and again, and they use it like for education. That was really nice. I think Men Abuse Trauma, like as a work of art, is definitely one of the best things I've made. I was very pleased with how it came together. It was a lot. The others I go back to and rewatch. I have not rewatched Men Abuse Trauma all that much, but like obviously. I think Sex Work might just beat it though, because I think, well, I don't know, a lot of people wrote to me saying Men Abuse Trauma like helped them and was like needed to be talked about. I was gonna go with Sex Work because it's maybe more socially important. Thank you for that super chat. I suppose it says pronounce my name, I dare you. Have you ever engaged with anything from the Chinese tradition? Not so much. Sorry. But yeah, I think maybe it's a tie. Maybe it's a tie between Men Abuse Trauma and Sex Work. Yeah, because people really found Men Abuse Trauma like helpful. So yeah, I think I'm not sure I would want to make stuff like that again because it's like very personal. I don't think I would ever get more personal than that. I think that's kind of like the upper limit. But yeah, I was pleased with that. So yeah, I think that's my tie. Someone in the chat says, "What's your favourite look?" Tough one. I think in terms of costuming, I actually think Men Abuse Trauma is the best. I think that's my fave. The Superman to Clark Kent, I think, is subtle and like powerful and conveys the point really nicely. and like adds, doesn't just restate but adds to it. Anna Beale says, what videos would win in the categories of most curious, most compassionate, and most you? Those ones, I think. The ones that we're talking about, my top three. Yeah, my favourite look, I think. I mean, I do love the purple suit in Abortion and Ben Shapiro. I love a purple suit. The arsonist costume I'm really pleased with. But no, I think in terms of costuming, Men of Beast Trauma is my favourite. Somebody says not the Witches one. That wasn't this year. Doesn't count. M. Lopez, welcome. It's wonderful to have you here for the first time on the live stream. That's great. Yeah. So yeah. What a year. What a fantastic year. No, I don't think the winged look is my favourite at all. No way. So Alex Harker says, I think there's real epistemological value in Men of Beast Trauma that outweighs sex work. Yeah, fair enough. Somebody's saying, like, what do I think about Men of Beast Trauma versus the first Cosmonaut video? I don't know, hard to compare because they do try and do very different things. Oh, somebody else has brought up, in terms of favourite looks, the Brexit suit. Yeah, the Brexit suit, yeah, that was a solid one. I was very pleased with that. That's going to be up there. Yeah. Yeah. But what a year. What a fantastic year. I mean, I think... I think some of my favourite things about this year have been... This is going to sound really cheesy, but genuinely, I think it's the people I've gotten to work with. That's been some of my favourite, like... Getting to work with Alice as a producer and as a friend is fantastic, because Alice, you do an amazing job, and I love working with you, and you're just like a good, wise friend. Getting to do voiceovers with other people, with Harry, with Lindsay, getting to work with Natalie on her stuff, and getting her to be in mine, like getting to hang out with people I could name drop. But I think that has been my favourite bit of this year, is the people I've gotten to meet and work with. Yeah, I think that's been my favourite thing. It's been great. I'm looking forward to next year. I think I'd like to do... I think, in general, I have a note to sort of move slightly more... It's like, there's been a lot of theatre this year, and it's been nice. I'm going to keep that. I'm definitely going to keep that going forward and keep the creativity. I'd like to maybe just turn the philosophy, like technical stuff, up just a couple of notches on the dial, to get some like slightly more technical stuff in there. You know, ontological arguments, Frege each problem, just like getting a bit more philosophy in there. It's this kind of general curiosity I have about going forward. I'd like to diversify a little bit as well. I've done a lot of like socially heavy stuff, like climate grief, Brexit. I want to do, as I said earlier, I want to do one on art, beauty and ugliness. I want to do one on theatre. Yeah, I think that'd be fun. Yeah, I really enjoyed like getting to work with Jim on the Shakespeare stream. And Casey Explosion as well on the Shakespeare stream. Like, what a special time that was in Bilbo. Yeah. I think somebody just said a video on dialectical materialism would be cool. I just made one. That's the last one. Come on, watch it. Have you ever considered working in films? I have. I do. I do films. My next video is going to be a film. Yeah, I think I'm really looking forward to the next year. My favourite thing about this year has been the people I've worked with and the people I've met, and just the fantastic friends I've made in the creative space. Like, I think I've, at the start of the year, did I have like 200,000 subs? And now it's 500,000 plus. Wow. That's pretty amazing. So, yeah. yeah, what a special time. I think, you know what, I do have some letters, but I'm very tired and sick, and we've been going for 2 hours now. So I think what I'll do is thank you to everyone who sent me thank you to everybody who sent me letters to the mailbag. I have opened and I've read them all. Thank you to the gifts, for the people who've sent me gifts. Somebody says, what's your horniest video of the year? They're all horny. No, that's actually not true. Some of them, sex work was very deliberately not horny. Queer's definitely got to be the horniest video of the year. So yes, thank you to everybody who sent me stuff, particularly people who've sent me gifts, like pictures, and somebody sent me a nice diary, which I'm going to use, like a planner. But I think we won't go through them tonight, because I need to sleep and I'm very sick and tired. Yeah. What I will do is I will put on. Well, we're already on the music that I end the live stream with. Yeah, what a special year. Bit of a roller coaster. Some amazing moments. One or two. One or two. That possibly aren't worth talking about. I'm not sure I will keep the PO box. I think when it comes up for renewal, I don't know when that is. When it does come up for renewal, I might just let it slide. But yeah. So if you are just joining us, or you missed me, you missed me saying earlier, there isn't going to be a video in December. I'm taking December off. I'm actually going to go home to the north in a few days. I'm going to go home. I'm going to relax, spend Christmas. I'd like to spend a bit more time with my family. I think that's this year I've worked very hard. I've maintained 2 full-time jobs. Thank you for that super chat, Eric. Somebody else in the chat will be able to tell you. But 2 full-time jobs, not to mention a somewhat active social life. Yeah, so I think my note to myself for next year is don't work as hard. Don't do it. I'd like to take some time off. I'd like to spend more time with my family. I'd like to see my friends more. I'd like to continue having an active social life. Maybe even a little bit of a more active social life. But yeah, there's not going to be a video in December. January or February, whenever it comes out, the next video is going to be quite special. I think Alice is going to be my producer on that one, yeah, it's going to be nice. I tell you what, I will put up a Patreon post tomorrow for patrons, and I'll make it public, saying there's not going to be a video in December and talking about some of the things I want to do next year. So, again, sorry for that background noise. That's because my flatmates are very inconsiderate. They love to make a lot of noise for no reason. Do I turn up where they work and make a noise? No, I don't. But do they do it when I work? Yes, they do. So we are on the final song that we like to end on, which is "Walking in the Rain" by Zoe Blade. It's a lovely, lovely tune. I will turn it up. Thank you everyone for turning out for the live stream. It's been wonderful to have you here. And thank you to all of you for supporting the channel over this year. What a special year it's been. Yeah, wow. Yeah, amazing. Still can't believe I've done some of the things I've done this year and met some of the people I have. What a special time. I feel very lucky. Very, very lucky. I know I'm very lucky. Yeah, I'm very happy. I can't believe I made Men Abuse Trauma and Queer in the same year. To come out talking about the abusive relationship and to come out as bisexual within 6 months is a lot. It's a lot. Yeah, what a year. What a fun time I've had, and I'm very proud of the things that I've made. or at least most of them. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to next year. I'm going to make some quite special things, I think. I think it's going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to 2020, creatively speaking. What else it has in store, God knows. But yeah. Well, thanks very much, everybody, for coming out for the stream. Take her easy. Be good to yourselves. If you celebrate Christmas, have a very, very Merry Christmas. And a happy New Year. And I'll see you in 2020. I mean, I'll still tweet and stuff, but I'm not going to do any more streams or videos until next year. Time for a cup of tea and a sleepy, I think. Thanks, Daniel Sullivan, for that super chat. Last super chat of 2019. Good night, everybody.